I believe in the law. I believe in order and justice. I believe that people are by nature good. I believe that historical forces push us into conflict, and without the law as a buffer between people, we would have a world of vendetta, world of violence, world of chaos. The law keeps us civilized. I don't think it's I don't think it's funny.
That's why.
When I was a kid, and when there were things that I wanted to do that I couldn't do, my mom would often tell me, when you get older, you'll understand. And them little kids that you see running around doing whatever it is they want to do, it's because their parents don't care enough about what they're doing and what they're getting into. She would also say that I will never intentionally tell you anything that will harm you. You know, I love you and I'm here to guide you to success, and I want to see you thrive. But as a kid, you don't really understand that. All you know is that you can't do what you want to do, and you feel oppressed and feel like they're trying to keep you from having fun. And as I got older and as I started having children of my own, I definitely understood why those boundaries and instructions were put in place, and I became grateful for them. And as I matured in the Father's word, I understand his word so much more, and his instructions and his boundaries that he has set, and the foundation that he has set for us, so that we can be protected. It was never meant to keep you in bondage, and never meant to bind you, but really to liberate you, to liberate us, so that we can thrive and actually have true freedom. His instructions are not just spiritual rules. They are little practical instructions and a foundation to guide a nation, guide a society of people, so that we can lead with integrity, that we can lead with right ruling and have right judgments, and have a balance of mercy and judgment and compassion upon one another, so that we can dwell in harmony with each other and the Father. And when you understand that they're meant to be a blueprint and a guide to a society of people, to govern them into righteousness and to be a light for the other nations, because he even said this: if you live by these standards that I have given you, even the other nations will look at you, admire your nation, and be amazed and draw themselves to you, and see how this wonderful nation is thriving and how their Elohim is with them. And they would draw to you and then draw to me. It was so that you can be a light, never bondage, but freedom. The path to righteousness. And when we understand that and we see the beauty in that, because what I notice is that a lot of times when people have instructions that have restrictions, they automatically pull back, and they are like, whoa, I'm being kept from doing what I want to do and moving in the way that I want to move, because they feel restricted. And I've grown to understand that that's immaturity. It's immature. We got a lot of growing up to do. I've recognized that I had a lot of growing up to do, and that we as a nation, we as a society have a lot of growing up to do, because instructions with restrictions, it's not bondage, but it can very well be your protection. They're the guardrails that you needed, that they're the fence of protection that you needed. And it's not to keep you bound, but to keep you protected, keep you safe, and keep you guarded. And it seems logical, like, if I don't understand something, I don't need to do it. If I don't understand it, I'm not going to do it. And although it seems logical, it's immature, because how many times as children, we might not understand what they're asking us, and all they're saying is complete the task. And if you complete the task, it will make sense. And as a kid, I didn't understand that. And sometimes as an adult, I don't understand it. But when you actually do it, and then you, at the end of it all, you're like, okay, that makes sense. I get it now. But a lot of us don't want to complete it because we don't understand it. But that's where faith comes in. And a lot of people don't understand how faith and obedience go hand in hand. They don't exist without each other, because it is your faith that is going to cause you to be obedient. But if you don't understand something, again, you have that faith. When our parents told us to do something, again, we didn't understand it, but we trust the process. We trust that they've led us this way, led us this far, that they've fed us, protected us, guided us this far, that they're not going to lead us into a path that's going to lead us into destruction. The same thing with the Father. He's led you this far. He's protected you. He's guided you. He led you out of the wilderness. He's brought down kings for your sake. He's fed you. He's done miraculous things. He's not going to then lead you into a path that's going to bind you. He's leading you on a path to righteousness. But because we don't understand the assignment, we reject it, and not realizing that in the end of it was our life, was our freedom. We see literally the faith of those, the faith leading to obedience. Abraham believed, and so he did. Noah believed, and so he did. And in that faith and in that instruction is your protection. That's where your protection lies, is in the instruction. Build the ark. In this ark, if you follow the instruction, you will have the protection. It's not the instruction that is the problem, it's the people that make it difficult. But the instruction is pure. The instruction is very simple. The Father, again, is trying to tell you to trust me, trust the process, trust the instruction that I've given you, that it will lead you here. That old sin in the garden, right? He's giving you life. Again, we think that restriction is bondage, but the Father has given you everything. He gave you the whole garden. It was yours. One thing he told you to stay away from. And again, you had the tree of life. You literally had life, but we chose death because you had someone to tell you that, oh, that's not necessary. You won't surely die. But literally, he tells you in your word, if you will be obedient, if you follow this, then all the promises that I promise you will come to fruition. If you continue to trust in me, trusting him will cause you to follow after him, to be led. You have to be led. If you don't trust, then you won't be led. Then you will reject where you're going. That's why you reject the law, because you don't trust it. Because you've been told not to trust it. You've been told that it's not necessary. You've been told that it isn't something that you actually need. When he tells you that the law is not grievous. That's why I love to hear David dote on the law, because he tells you, because he dotes on the law, because he tells you that the law is faithful. Again, for those who don't believe that faith and law can exist in the same, he says that the law is faithful, that the law is truth, that the law is righteousness, and that is not grievous. It wasn't David who said it wasn't grievous, but in the word it says that the law is not grievous. So when we understand that is truth and that it is faithful, then we understand the picture that the Father has for us, and that he's trying to literally lead you into the path of success. But you have people telling you that it's not necessary. Again, because, oh, that's ancient, and like, oh, we don't have to abide by that now because that was so many years ago. And it's modern time. We don't really need that. And you know how many laws there are? And what's very important is to know that the Father's word, no matter how many decades, centuries pass, how many years come and go, how many cultures come and go, how many kingdoms rise and fall, the word will still stand. The Father's standard for righteousness will still stand. That will not change. He said, my word will not come back void. He doesn't change. We change. We're flippant. We go from here and there. But the Father's word will remain the same, and his standard for righteousness will remain the same. When he tells you to love your neighbor as yourself, when he tells you to even your enemy, to make sure if you see their cattle going astray, make sure you bring it back. Why? Because he's saying we're not going to allow your envy, your anger, your hatred, or your dislike of someone else be unjust in the community, so that everybody is treated fairly. When he says look out for the widow and the orphan, so those people in a vulnerable state don't get left behind, to protect them, to look out for them. And he tells you to pay your employee on time, not needing anything. They're not left behind. That is protection for the employee, protection for the widow, protection for the orphan. Law of Jubilee. So you're not in a perpetual state of debt. So you don't carry on generational debt. That is so much mercy and favor from the Father. Eventually you will be released from this debt, because you were never meant to be in bondage. So that, yes, you do need to pay your debt, but after 50 years, if it's not paid off, you're released from it. Because we're not going to keep our people in a perpetual generational state of debt. If we understand how that's protection for that person, and it also allows that person who is in authority to have mercy. He's teaching you how to have mercy, so you don't take advantage of your authority. He's not allowing that. So when you say those things are not necessary now, how are they not? They're always necessary. We suffer when we don't. We have health issues when we don't listen to him, when he tells you what's good for you to eat and what's not. Or all these different health issues that come with not protecting our bodies properly. That's what he's trying to get you to do. But because it has restrictions, we reject it. And we reject it because we're like, oh, I should be able to eat what I want to eat. He's trying to show you how to be spiritually healthy, how to be physically healthy. But we reject it because we feel like the restrictions is what's keeping us in bondage. When he said that restriction would have added years to your life. It's so crazy. Literally, if you listen to my instructions, your life will be long upon the earth. But we don't listen, so we're cut short. Our life is literally cut short. holding on to death so much because it's comfortable, because it's easy, because we think that it has freedom, and not recognizing that it's that's keeping us in bondage. The disorder and the chaos has become so normal to us that we're too comfortable to be disciplined, to get rid of the sickness, that it is going to destroy us as a nation. It is going to destroy us as a people if we continue to take that in, which is making us sick. And everything that we consume, continue to consume those things, we are going to die. When we're looking out in the world and the way that our people are behaving, we are sick. It is evidence of a people who are sick, who need healing and need restoration quickly and don't even know it. So stubborn, so content and comfortable in their madness that they're not willing to be healed. They're rejecting the medicine. They're rejecting the thing that will make them whole and are gun-ho on their death. But we don't care because it's fun and it's easy and it's comfortable, and here I can behave in any way I want. But boy, you don't even know how much you need a guardrail. You need to be protected. You need to be guided. Oh, it's all right. That's an old law, but your body is screaming for you to stop. It is dying for you to stop. But you refuse to listen because you are stiff-necked and hard-headed and love evil rather than good. He said, learn to do good. Stop doing evil and learn to do good. Have right ruling. Have righteousness. I'm ranting.